Morning, everyone. Oh, had a little curly Q in my hair. Today we're going to do a little virtual tour of the Fulton Library. So let's go inside. So when you go inside the library, we have the Roots of Knowledge. Ooh, pretty, right? Cool. Yeah. So we're on the first floor, heading to the circulation desk. The circulation desk is where you check books out, but you can also check out equipment, as you can see on this carousel here. They have cords, they have video recorders, audio recorders, all kinds of wonderful, neat equipment that you can check out, and it's awesome. You'll also see these shelves behind. These are course reserves. So if your teacher says, I put some items on course reserve, they are here physically, and there's also some online too. Oh. This is an important desk. This is the research help desk. This is our research librarian. And the research desk will help you with any research that you need help with. So if you're having trouble finding sources, if you're having trouble finding a source, you can come to the research librarians and they will do a great job helping you. And they have hours here. Awesome, thank you, bye. Another important part of the library is interlibrary loan. We can get books and articles from everywhere, all over the world. I'll talk about this more later. We're on the second floor. Second floor also has a circulation desk where you can check books out. But more importantly, if you go down this hallway, it will take you to the Writing Center. Writing Center, yes. What does the Writing Center do? They offer free help and tutorials for papers and other things. They're awesome. There's also a copy center. The copy center will print everything you need, including posters, which is very useful because there's a lot of classes where you have to do poster presentations. The second floor also contains books, children's books. You might ask why a college library needs children's books. It's because we have a lot of elementary education students who need to create lesson plans for children. We also have tons and tons and tons of videos. Videos about everything. DVDs aplenty. We have on history, recreation, dance, all kinds of wonderful things. We also have feature films. We have dramas, comedies. Yeah, you can actually get the DVD, check it out for a few days. It's a lot like Blockbuster, if you guys remember Blockbuster. Yeah. And you can check them out. I don't know what the checkout time is. It used to be 3 to 4 days, but I think it might have actually switched. We have other media. We have thrillers. We have science fiction and fantasy. Again, it's like a big Blockbuster. One other important thing that we have is we have lots of information on different topics, videos on different topics. For example, human anatomy, one of the most failed courses at UVU. And we have videos here that can help you with that. We also have videos on microbiology and medicine, zoology, botany, and history, and physics, and mathematics. You will also notice a section called microfilm. What is microfilm? It's these little guys. What are these little guys? These are newsreels from back in the day. This is from the London Times from 1965. And they're cool. Let's take a look. Some microfilm. Sometimes you're taking a history class and your teacher says, I'd like you to find me a current event or a historical event that happened in 1965. And you look online and realize there's not a lot to find. So you look for microfilm. It's in fact little strips of the newspaper you can see here. It's London Times. If you can't see it, it's really fine, but it's there. If you ask the library staff, they can hook you up with a computer that is able to read these. There's also another alternative called microfiche. Microfiche come on an index card that is transparent and can also be read on the same readers. Studying music, we have music. We have all kinds of music for different instruments and for different purposes. This is the Mozart section. Oh, actually, lots of Mozart. And this is the text for Don Giovanni. And music. So if you're studying music, it's here. Sheet music for different things. A lot of opera. A lot of choral music, but it's here. This is the back staircase from the second floor to the third floor. And it will lead you up to the third floor, which is a quiet floor. On the third floor, we are here in what is called the bound periodicals. What are bound periodicals? Well, they're periodicals that are bound. For example, you can find the Journal of Mormon History from 1999. And if you open it up, what do we find? The Journal of Mormon History. And these are journals, magazines that are bound. Now you're probably asking, well, aren't these digitized? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So what happens? Well, there's actually a life cycle of bound periodicals. Sometimes they get digitized, sometimes they get kept in their paper form. For example, if you will note on this side, this is a magazine called State of the World. And this is State of the World from a few years ago. This is the soft version, not the bound version. And the soft ones get accumulated by volume in these little cartons. Oops, I can get it back in there. There we go. And so what happens is these cartons will get collected. They'll collect a whole volume, which is equivalent to 1 year of the journal. And they will send it to the bindery. And during the 3 or 4 months it sits at the bindery, they will take it and turn it into one of these wonderful things. And then they will mark it by volume. And you can notice that each volume, again, represents either a year or a part of the year. Depends on how often the magazine comes out. But yeah. You may notice a note in the library catalog that says bound periodicals. That is where it would be. Here. Pretty cool, right? One thing you'll also notice is these little movable shelves. These shelves are actually easy. You just twist the little thingamajiggy. It will actually move the shelf. If you're feeling especially inspired, you can trick one of your friends to stand in there and then slowly close it. And they will be crushed. No, actually, they won't be crushed. It'll get stuck eventually. There's a lot of actually bigger libraries that have these, and they're automated. And they will talk to you and say, "The shelf is moving. Please move out of the way." Unfortunately, we're pretty low tech here at UVU, but we still got the stuff. We also have a section on law. These are actually the laws. These are state and federal laws, and we list out actual laws. You'll also notice a bunch of different books on law. These are sometimes books of law, but they are also sometimes books of law opinion, which means the judge or the lawyer wrote a review about a case. Maybe they won or they lost, or a case they read about, and they will formulate opinions that can be used in court cases. This is the George Sutherland Archives and Special Collections. What are special collections? A lot of universities are actually charged with, well, taking care of historical items and documents. Our Sutherland Archives are charged with containing historical documents and artifacts related to UVU. So here's some information about appropriations, some architectural sketches about buildings being built. Pretty cool stuff, right? It's an actual shovel they used for groundbreaking at the library that we are currently standing in 2006. And some other great stuff. So make a note that most libraries actually have special collections divisions, which contain a lot of information and artifacts from the area, but also contain special artifacts like old books, first edition books, all kinds. We're on our way to the 4th floor, which is where most of the library's books are. You will notice lots and lots of great books here. They are organized by the Library of Congress classification system, and they're designated with little letters and little numbers. It's great stuff. And there's a whole bunch of different books here on this floor. There's also a continuance of those books on the 5th floor. I think it's like Q's through Z's or something like that. But again, going by the Library of Congress classification system. So yeah, this is books. Somebody asked me, are we still buying books? Yeah, university's still buying books. There's a lot of books that don't get digitized. And so we keep buying them because scholars need them, students need them, yeah, community people need them. One other thing that's really interesting about the 4th floor is that we have a collection of maps. Lots of maps. These are typographic maps from every county in Utah, including Utah County. Actually use these maps for a variety of different things. Some of them note water sources, ascent and descent of the geography, so like mountains, valleys, green areas, desert areas, all kinds of wonderful things, and metro areas. Well, we're on the 5th floor. I figured, what the hell. You're gonna notice these cards here. It says place books here for reshelving. What does that mean? That means when you pick a book off the shelf and you pull it out, you'll be like, oh, well, put it back, right? No, don't. Put it on the reshelving cart so that the librarians can shelf the book for you. Because if you put it in the right place, you might drive someone crazy when they're trying to find the actual book. So instead of putting it back yourself, you just take it, put it on the reshelving cart. They'll take care of it for you. Pretty nice, right? Sometimes people leave them here. Don't do that. Another wonderful thing about the library is there are computers for student use and for searching the library. You'll also notice that there are mobile printers on every floor. And that concludes our odyssey through the library. If you have any questions, text me, email me, ask me. I'll tell you. As far as libraries go, this library is actually fairly small, believe it or not. There are libraries that are 3, even 5 times the size of the UVU library. And some that contain a vast wealth of artifacts and documents. I mean, like first edition Bibles, first edition Jane Austen texts, the Dead Sea Scrolls, museum pieces and priceless works of art. Yeah, you're thinking of like Oxford, Harvard, some of the European schools. That's why it's important to have universities so we can safeguard these wonderful things. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. I'll see you all in class later. Bye.